Kalmir,
Hmm.
you have been asked a very pointed question. Do you know this individual?
Do I know this individual? I asked the storyteller.
No.
Nah,
Not
figured.
this individual, but...
No, I'm not familiar with this person, but I'm aware of what it is.
Not Wolf. We're okay with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. I have no issues with what you are and what you do.
You seem enlightened.
I like to think so. I mean, making the path easier to traverse is just easier to gain knowledge from either side. You good?
Think so.
Well, what were the two of you discussing?
Pacts, deals, bargains, treaties.
Oh, you must be right at home then, Jimmy.
You've got no idea.
Current offer on the table. Hope for help. Help rid spiders, help rid wolves.
That deal seems to lean a bit heavily on your side, doesn't it? The spider's everyone's problem, so us helping each other kind of cancels that out. The wolves seem more your problem than ours.
Discussion with... We have not been acquainted. Names. Discussion with this individual led us to believe wolves are mutual disdained for.
A little bit more information just going in for what we just faced.
Oh, you broke up again.
A little bit more information just going in and seeing what we just saw. Like I say, just a bit more of a heads up there. Cherry on the cake. Appreciate it, you know.
I wonder if they even got that far, to be honest. If they didn't know what was down way deep there.
Yes.
Oh, they did? Well then.
They fought Spinner Hag.
They lost some. They had wolves down there to make it back, did they?
War has been long. Body count has risen, mostly ours. Used as cannon fodder.
Well, I won't deny that your help would be useful. I don't know that she would be more useful in a fight than a werewolf, however.
Not as I am right now. Picks up yet another rat. Down the hatch. You seem enlightened. Probably know. I can get bigger. And he kind of gestures to the rats around him. None of the rats that he picks up and down the hatches, they don't struggle.
Well, he turns to Jimmy, I could go either way, really. Werewolves, in my experience, are a bit stuck up about their duty, but at the same time, they're no slouch in what they do. Whereas a host certainly has numbers, and when those numbers converge, can be quite powerful by themselves. So, again, either way.
So, and I'm trying to think. Do I have to spend glamour to drop a mask?
Thought so.
I don't think so.
No?
No, it just you can drop your mask. It just lets all the the huntsmen know where you are. You drop your mask and you get like exceptionals on 3 for contracts. It's actually very good, but
Yeah.
all the Fae know you did it.
With weird 10, right? So
Yeah. It's better be worth it. So dropping the mask, becoming like semi-corporeal and like pulsing with every single noise, like little kind of parts of him like absolutely spike out now when there's like any sharp noises in the background. You hunt the spiders, and in return the wolves are gone.
Crooked smirk appears across the man's face. Clicks his tongue, and the rats converge on him. The next few moments, roughly a 9-foot tall rat man, somewhat looks like a werewolf, but with more rat-like features, now stands before you. Rats are still swarming about. The voice is less human now. Deal. Outstretches a hand. There is a bit of unsurety in stretching out a hand to a pulsing thing of sound. So, both of you can read that on its face.
It's... yeah. Deal. Shake the hand and do return. I'll drop the. I'll bring the mask back up.
So we get started. Not part of deal, so you don't have to aid. Wish to aid, that is on you. Clean bodies. Replace heart. When he says that, he kind of outstretches his hand like this, and a rat crawls up his body and sits in the palm of his hand. Replace heart with one of mine. Create more of me. More effective in numbers. Stated, not part of deal. Something we will take care of on our end. But, should you want to help, won't decline.
I mean,
So
we'd have to walk around with rats on us. That's your thing.
Rats are everywhere.
Tell you what, if the opportunity presents, then sure, I'll help. But I'm not going out of my way for it.
Not really asking for that anyway. And with that, this thing, in one very clean leap, leaps onto the solid ground above the pool. The rats begin to scamper and scurry towards the shallow end and up the stairs as they can't make the slope in the part of the pool that you stand in. Eventually, the squeaking and scurrying fades away. Night. Leaving Kalmir and Jimmy by themselves. Seigheim.
Has the arm moved?
It's twitched, yes.
I'm gonna threaten it. Just don't think about it. No. Yes, go on.
Feels like it's been a couple of hours. Haven't seen the return of Kalmir or Jimmy. But eventually, two individuals traverse the portal. You recognize Owen, and you recognize the older gentleman that was introduced to you by the name of Greg. Or George, sorry, not Greg. G names.
The wolf.
He would not let me come unless he followed.
He's a local. Insight he could have. Doesn't hurt. And I'm gonna, I guess probably just put it on the ground or something. I will pick up this glob of fungi flesh. Your sample, retrieved from the bottom of these tunnels, freshly chopped from a dead, living wolf.
See a slight snarl across Jordan.
Creatures covered in the fungus that attacked us. Did not change. They may not have been wolves, they may have simply taken the form. I don't know. I cut its arm off, and I retrieved the sample.
Owen is in a full hazmat suit. He retrieves a plexiglass case and kind of shoves the arm unceremonially in there. Seals it. And with a finger, you see lightning spark from his finger, as you see him essentially weld it to be airtight. I know it's not technically welding, but melting, whatever.
Yeah, sealing it.
Alright. So we have a relatively secure storage container for it. I was advised not to bring materials.
Well, the alternative is taking it back out where it may just wither and choke. That fungus is not on the other side.
Gonna have to find out. That in of itself is an important test. Because if it does wither and die, well, that makes certain things so much easier to handle.
One other. The other two. I don't know if he's really familiar with the term mage, but Kalmir had another sample, not of the fungus, but of what it was feeding off of. I do not have it.
Purple
He could go.
liquid.
Yes,
George says this.
correct.
Seepage from a wound. He literally brought a wound onto the other side of the gauntlet.
No, I believe he brought it back to his own pockets of space.
If that's the case, then he can deal with whatever hells that thing unleashes upon his world.
The spider is no longer a spider. This may be of relevance to your tests. It is no longer just a spider. It is a spider and a fungus, and you see, it would have said its name in first tongue, and he's not going to be able to recreate the wounded spirits. I can't even pronounce it, the Meljin or whatever.
Yeah.
Majin, yeah.
Majin.
Yeah, but it would have been in first tongue, and
No, it wasn't.
Well, okay then. Then I will relay that it is now 3 things.
A tree!
You see George start to rub the center of his head. So it's a mushroom, a spider, and claiming to be a god of a wound.
Well, I cracked its back and it came crawling out a tree of bone and claimed as such. It did not appear any spider I've seen. And we cut down plenty of spiders on the way there. Spider people. Spiders wearing ribs and bones as armor. No. I relay only what we found down there. I was more than prepared to try and kill it, but outnumbered I was.
Chadma. This one, while other of the Maljin concentrate on specific interests that they have, take a more holistic approach to the problem that they consider the werewolf, the Urathra. You know, I was opposed to the idea when that woman came to me about it, but you know what? I don't think it's a bad idea. Drop a frickin' nuke on this place. I mean, what more damage could be done, honestly? And with that, with a very clear sigh of frustration, George leaves.
Well, Doctor, what do we plan to get out of this? How do you plan to test this thing? Do we need more?
No, this should be sufficient. More than sufficient. Problem is we know through our contacts through some of our representative contacts, however you want to phrase it. I'm honestly tired of this military speak. There's some of the people that we've roped into helping us. We know that there was a government facility that housed a bioweapon that contained a modified version of this, and we also know that there are people that have modified strands of this plague. Should stand to reason, if you can modify it to be worse, there should be something to be gained in researching it and seeing if we can't develop countermeasures. Maybe an inoculation or something. Now, inoculation would be the first step. That would give us a stronger foothold and allow us to fight a more direct fight. Not all of us have your dead constitution, as it were. Ultimate success, though, would be being able to create a wide spectrum cure.
I have this feeling that a cure is not going to be too helpful at this stage. Who is there left to cure?
That would be the standard definition of cure. However, when the very world itself is sick, we're talking not just a shot that makes you feel better. We're talking about a weapon that's meant to fight. Because you're right. If we develop a cure that works on humans, we save 5-10 people at this point. The world withers away. I don't know how many people are unaffected. I know they are in the vast minority now. I don't know if the human population is sustainable at this point. You see, as Owen says these words, there is strain and no lack of... He's exceedingly bothered by these words that come out of his mouth. Right now, the plan is to cut the tumor out at its source. Develop a cure that works on the entity itself.
Then I wish you the best. I would not worry too much about the world. It was always doomed. Always fated to die. And so were humans. So were we all. Such is ordained. This was always our fate.
Well, Fenrir hasn't eaten the sun yet. Still rises.
Fenrir never was going to.
Sorry. Norse mythology's not.
Nor do any of you have it corrected at this point. Twisted by the churchmen. Yeah. I gave up a long time ago trying to revive the old stories.
Having a perfect translation would always help.
To translate it to who? That's not relevant at this point. Our gods are at least off on their own war now. We stopped following them, so why would they care what happens to us here? As far as I'm aware, I am the last. If you have any more gods looking out for you, then so far it seems like they are inadequate.
After you. He makes a gesture towards the portal.
I will go through the portal.
Follows you, and he begins to make his way through the compound. Probably with you at his side. I'm assuming you're not going to stay.
got no reason to. I mean, as far as I'm aware, this is the cowardly scholar that needs protecting. You know, like.
As soon as he gets out of the facility, he begins making his way in the relative direction of where the helicopter landed. Kalmir, Jimmy,
E.
you are alone, deep end of a dried
Are
up
there any
pool.
doors around here?
You would have to go up to the main area where they would like issue you a locker, etc. So like the office building.
What are you doing, Kalmir? My way back.
I missed the first half of that.
What are you doing?
I heard, what are you doing?
Okay. Well, I suppose I should head back to where Seigheim is and see if they've sent someone to recover the sample. And then from there, I suppose we'll have to be planning the next stage of our attack. Because going in there right now as we are, we will die quite quickly. And that's no help to anybody.
I might ask a few friends for a little bit of help. See what they know, see what they've found out, see what the word is.
You will come back though, right? I can't say I
Not here.
appreciate being left in the dark with one member just running off without a word.
Yeah. Sorry,
No, like I get you need to,
Well-
take care of number one. I understand that. But at this point,
yeah.
if it puts
No.
the whole into danger, then that's a whole other thing.
No, I get that. Yeah, there was someone I knew once, and well, she's gone now. Guess since then I haven't really cared for other people, you know.
People have their uses. That's why I want to keep them from dying out.
Then you're welcome to join me if you want. But words of warning. Things get weird.
I think I've seen more weird than you.
I'll take that bet.
But as much as I would enjoy to see something weird, I still need to get back to Sig and see if they've gotten the sample yet.
I'll let you know what I find out. Where do you want to meet?
Likely back at least near the portal where we landed. Because this is where we need to deal with it first.
You're sticking around where that makes things easy.
Yeah.
I'll be back in time. And you'll go towards the office area, open up a door, back to the hollow.
Kalmir, where are you heading off to?
Well, true to his word, he's gonna go check and make sure that the arm hasn't run away.
I will say that you encounter Sig, along with Owen on their way back. You see underneath Owen's arm. Owen's in a hazmat suit, but you can still assume that it's Owen. You see under his arm the plexiglass case with the arm in it. Still twitching occasionally.
And it's perfectly sealed. Can I use forces mage or space mage sight to see?
It's as perfect as
mundane means can get it.
Yeah. It has not all of a sudden just suddenly rotted or anything of that nature.
Well, that's something. He's thinking that's neither good nor bad. But it's something. Oh, good. You came to pick it up.
Yeah. Was advised not to take materials in, so having to transport it back.
Right then. We need to plan what happens next. Because going back in there now as we are is a death sentence.
The professor stops mid-step and turns to look at Kalmir. That is the first time I've ever heard you give something that amount of respect. Literally saying, I cannot deal with it as I am right now.
There are very few things in this world that are on that level, but yes. We need more.
Or what?
More of everything.
You know that's not really an option.
Yes.
We are
Desperate.
what we have.
What if we found more?
Found more what?
Something. We're not the only ones that want this world to continue, even if it's not in the image as we see it.
Every able-bodied person that we know fighting. Be it here, be it in Ireland, Brazil, Australia, hell, pretty sure there's some people in North Korea that are fighting. I would actually wonder. He pauses and actually taps his head. I wonder actually how well they're doing with how isolated they are. Either they're completely wiped out or they're living in a paradise. Free of sickness.
Is George still there?
No, he left.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking another something out of this world that might be able to help.
You don't have any long lost gods? Shoots a look over at Seigheim.
Like I was trying to say, what happens to us now is completely irrelevant. The gods don't care. They have their reward.
Or they're dead.
Such is as fated. The gods will die just as we will. The Norns have written it all already. We can struggle against it, such as we are supposed to.
And if we die fighting, we go to the halls of Valhalla, yes?
Until we fall again.
You ever been to Valhalla?
The individual responsible for that not occurring is long dead. I crushed his skull into dust the moment he did it, and the moment I realized.
That's a no, then.
I will continue walking.
Should I ask for a frenzy check? Because that seemed like a slap.
Do you want to?
Yes, I do.
You say frenzy check, but let's be honest. It is a chance die. This is not a check. Hold on. I accidentally... My push talk scrolled me back out of the page, apparently.
Kalmir really needs to not run his mouth to Seigheim.
Well, it was less.
Again.
It was less an insult and more. I was thinking, like, let's go visit Valhalla in the underworld.
Did that roll?
I don't see anything.
No. There we go.
There we go.
0
3.
successes.
Well, let's see if I can ride the wave immediately and not kill him.
This is the second time you've set Seigheim off.
Shouldn't be so easy to set off. I know.
Well, okay. We're not swinging at Kalmir. You know what we're doing? We're turning around. We're going back through the portal. Then let's go there.
Well, I mean, it's not that way.
Of course it is.
Well, you're just gonna go off and die and accomplish nothing?
I'm walking away. Well, marching, probably.
What is the goal of this frenzy?
We're gonna go find something to fight.
Valhalla.
Let's see if it's time or not. Let's see if the gods call me yet.
Letting Kalmir sink in.
I mean, if he's walking away, can't exactly marching away. He's just throwing hissy fit.
Such
mean,
is
Kalmir-
an empire frenzy.
Yeah, he's probably just gonna let him go. He doesn't want to try and stop him because he knows that's just gonna make it worse.
Where's Kalmir heading then?
Probably back to the helicopter and help the professor set up whatever he needs to set up.
Then we're gonna move over to Jimmy. Heading to the hollow?
Absolutely. I've got the entrance that means any door leads
Yeah.
into it. Stepping in and I know you're there.
Silence.
Wanted to ask you about something. Whenever you're ready.
A squat individual, stringy black hair, exceedingly long fingers. What can I do for you? Been a while.
They has. Been a long way since I've been back here. So, What have I missed?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Half of Arcadia's fallen into a sinkhole.
Not all of it.
Nah. But it also took out half of the hedge as well. Plus finding your way through the hedges and finding your way through the tiny little ravines. Or bridges, whatever.
What about the dreaming? What about the dream roads?
You know anybody that sleeps anymore? Know anybody alive to sleep? That's more the issue with that.
Might need to find someone at some point.
Sure you didn't call
What I
me.
want is... Well... way to close up a hole in the world. Probably the best way of describing it.
I mean, make a deal with the door. If there is no door, then make a deal with whatever's creating the opening.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's probably the same thing that's collapsing in on itself. Not the kind of thing I want to be making deals with otherwise.
That's a toughie.
Reckon you can ask around for me. Anyone that's done anything like this, any precautions.
I'll do what I can. Whoever's left. You know where Leon is? I'm sure Leon has some goblin fruit. You know that's getting scarce. Well, scarce is an understatement.
You find out this from me, I'll see if I can go and find some for you. Like I say, might need to walk the dream roads.
I'll see what I can find. And with that, camera pans away back to the pool. There is the sound of metal scraping against concrete. Relatively tall individual, spear in hand, leans down, touches the ground, lifts his hands up. Just a faint amount of dust trickles from the end of his gauntleted hand. Stands up, turning the stag-horned helmet up to the sky.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of the Contagion Chronicle, The World Plague, the conclusion to the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, what is this plague that invades both body and mind?